This whole project has been an adventure, a personal quest, with the goal or the objective being to discover who I am and what my role and my place is in my family as a 28-year-old white male in modern America. And the whole reason behind asking this question in the first place has to do with me becoming a new father. My son was born in April, and but also because I still have questions. I'm a husband and I'm a father, but I still look at myself in the mirror and I wonder, who are you and what's your place? And knowing that my son's going to grow up in my household and he's going to be developing into his own person and his own individual, and he's going to be coming to me and asking me for advice and for help as he grows. I believe that I need to know. I need to have it figured out before I try to give him any kind of advice. And so if I still have questions about who I am, then how can I hope to help him figure out who he is? And so I decided, all right, I'm gonna ask some questions. And so I went to the men in my life, men in my family, my father, my grandfather, my father-in-law, brother-in-law, grandfather-in-law, and who all embody my present role. We're all white men. We're either becoming husbands or we've all been husbands, and we're pretty much all fathers. And I asked them the simple question of what does it mean to be a man? And not surprisingly, I got pretty much all the same answers, right? Answers based in traditional Christian values, right? Like the traditional male role in the family, in the household, and the community is to be the leader, the provider, the caregiver, the comforter, the quintessential robust male figure, right? And I feel that I measure up pretty well. I mean, to that definition. I'm a strong guy. I'm fit. I like to do outdoorsy things, and I do consider myself to be a leader, and I do consider myself to be a good man. But in one of the more important roles that everybody always says, right, is you need to be the provider, right? Like that's kind of the big thing, the breadwinner. And right now, and for the last 3 years, I've not been the breadwinner. And given my wife her career choice and my career choice, there's a pretty decent chance that I will not be the primary breadwinner for a while, if ever. And so, in that respect, I fall short, and it impacts you, right? Like, does that feeling of am I a lesser man because I don't make as much money? Am I defective? Am I broken? Am I, what good am I if I can't provide for my family, right? And this has been the source of my self-doubt over the last few years. And hearing these men give me their definitions, and knowing that each one of them have been that in their family, and knowing that they know me, they look at me and they know my situation. I can't help but wonder how they, have I disappointed them? Do I make them proud? Because I've discovered that in the pursuit of my dreams and in the pursuit of who I want to be, I'm abandoning the guarantee that I'll fulfill that traditional role, that traditional male role. And to be completely honest, I don't define myself as a traditional male anyway, right? Like, yeah, I mean, I like doing outdoorsy, woodsman-y, manly stuff. I'm not afraid to pick up an axe and chop a whole bunch of wood. I mean, I'm good with my hands. I like working with tools and getting dirty and all that manly stuff. But to be honest, in a lot of ways, I prefer sitting at home in my chair with a cup of tea, reading maybe a good book or watching, some sort of artsy show and knitting or crocheting or sewing. And I'm a pretty darn good sewer. I mean, I know how to sew. My mom taught me right. And I love art. I love bright color, and I like music. And I mean it seems silly because these are all like things that, everybody's like, yeah, man, like welcome to, modern America. But it's like, the region in which I live, I wonder what my family thinks of me. These men in my family think of me when they look at me sometimes. I wonder if they think less of me because I have lotion on my hands. And so this project has been really good for me because it's my own personal way. Like, this is my method in which I've discovered confidence in myself again. Knowing that, operating from this idea that it is really up to me when I look at a broken block or a broken pile of blocks. I can choose to look at that pile of block and see just a bunch of broken concrete. Or I can look at myself for what I am, which is limitless potential. That pile of broken block can be used to make all kinds of things and can work all kinds of good. And there's really no limit to what you can do with this pile of concrete. And that's how I need to look at myself. I'm not broken. I'm not worthless. And I am every much a man as every other man. And I'm a person of limitless potential. And so, for my son's sake, growing up in my house, he'll know when he looks at me, regardless of who he becomes, he'll live in a house where his father knows who he is. And for myself, I'm excited to know that I can live my life now with this realization and with this assurance that I am the way I'm supposed to be. And so, here I am. This is me. I'm a person of limitless potential. My name is Joshua Best, and I'm presenting to you my personal best.